Welcome to the Delvin Cox Experience, the podcast in which each week I am on a one-man mission to unite our culture through diversity. I'm your host, Delvin Cox, and with me on the podcast is a special guest. Let them know who you are, brother.
Yo, what's good? It's your boy, PME, JB, whichever one you want to call me.
Welcome to the experience, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Today, it's been a rough week, but, we here. So,
Definitely. As always, we like to start the podcast off with the 5 for 5. 5 questions, 5 answers to get the ball rolling. JB, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Question number 1.
All right.
What is the best album or song you listened to in the past year? Does not have to be new, by the way.
Okay. Best album or song?
Yes.
Okay. Dang. All right, I'm a big Amine fan. So he dropped Limbo, his newest studio album last year. Honestly, every song. Wait, no. Ooh, I'm lying. It's this one R&B artist I just found named Blast.
Blast?
Blast, yes.
Okay.
His album No Love Lost, every single song on there was a banger.
Okay.
That's my pick right there. Blast, No Love Lost.
Okay. I like that. I got to check that out now. Question number 2. Give me your top 5 Nintendo characters.
Top 5 Nintendo. Oh, dang. That's a hard one. Okay. Does it have to be like top 5 or can I just name 5 that are in there?
You can name 5 that's in there.
Okay. Well, I got to put my homie Kirby in there. Okay. Luigi. That's the homie.
That's 2. Okay.
Dang, that's a hard one. Dang. I can't. Meta Knight. I really love Meta Knight. I've always had a personal connection with Meta Knight since I was a little kid. Okay. I really like Kirby, by the way.
Nothing wrong with that.
That's the homie.
Some would disagree, but there's nothing wrong with liking Kirby.
I know one person who would disagree with me, argue with me to death about that. Squirtle. I love Pokemon. Squirtle is my number 1 favorite Pokemon of all time.
Squirtle Squad. I like Squirtle.
He the homie.
Yes. I'm a fan of Squirtle.
Okay. That was 5.
4.
Right? Yeah, it was 4. Yeah, I need one more. Dang. This is hard. I can't.
See, what I like about this so far is you haven't named any of the mainstay Nintendo characters.
I haven't. I like them, but not enough to be like, oh, these are my favorite.
Yes.
I
like that.
Dang.
No Pikachu, no Mario,
no
Samus, no Link. Nintendo fans are having a fit right now.
Star
Fox.
That's the homie right there. Fox.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're going to put him in there.
I like Star Fox. Okay, that's a good answer. All right. Question number 3. And this is weird for you because you're still a kid, essentially. What is the dumbest thing you've ever done as a kid?
As a kid?
Yes.
I can't even really think of nothing dumb I did. I mean, I've done a lot of dumb stuff, but off the top of my head, I can't really think of anything extremely dumb. Well, it was one time when my oldest brother, him, and my best friend were playing around or whatever. He was chasing us around the house, kid stuff. And basically the front door was open. At least I thought it was open. And I'm running towards this door because my best friend already got out the door. I run, hit the door because it's locked. I don't know when he locked it. I don't know how he locked it. But the screen door was locked. And I feel like I hit it and made air as I flew back. I feel like that would be one of the dumbest things I've done as a kid.
You fell back like an anime character in a fight.
Yeah, I really did. I flew back like I got punched in the stomach by Goku or something.
All
right, let's go.
Question number 4. It's the easy one. Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Okay, you answer that real quick too.
Yeah, I like Coke products.
Nothing wrong with that. Question number 5. This one will be a little tough. but I think based off the background you have, I think you got it.
Okay, I'm ready.
You gotta pick 5 anime characters to take on Thanos with the gauntlet.
With the gauntlet.
And the stones. Any anime characters you want to take with you. Who are you taking to take out Thanos?
I feel like this question has it has its obvious answers, which I mean, most people would be like, "Oh, we're gonna bring Goku, we're gonna bring Naruto." Like, I feel like those are the really obvious answers. I want to switch it up, and I'm trying to think who I should. Okay, I'm bringing Beerus, God of Destruction.
Okay, Beerus. Okay, that's a good choice.
I'm gonna bring Madara.
Okay.
Okay, same type of level,
Okay, Madara Uchiha. Okay.
This is I can't. Dang, One Punch Man. We gonna bring my homie Saitama. Okay.
Okay.
You got to. Okay. So that was 3, right?
That's 3.
How many am I bringing? 4 or 5?
5.
5.
Yeah, 2 more.
Okay. Dang. I'm trying to think of recent animes. You know what? We gonna bring the homie Eren Yeager. Okay.
Okay, from Attack on Titan.
Yeah. Actually, no. Hold on. Scratch that. We gonna bring Armin instead. I feel like the Colossal Titan would do better in a situation like that, and the way that Armin thinks, I like that more than Eren. Especially right now. He's whole different story. Anyway.
One more.
Dang. I'm going to bring. Dang. See, it's a person I have in my head, but I kind of can't bring them because of the fact that they need the other person with them.
Who is the person?
I was thinking of Death the Kid from Soul Eater.
Okay.
And he kind of needs Patty, and I can't think of the other girl's name because those are his, her guns, and they're actual people as well.
Yeah.
So, if I'm gonna break the rules, I'm gonna go with Death the Kid. I'm gonna break the kid.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I would have just saved some trouble. I would have made my 5th guy Light Yagami from Death Note.
I should. You know what? I was completely Death Note was not even in my mind. I should have said
because he could just. I think in theory he could just write down Thanos' name. And that would be it.
Yeah, that would honestly be it. That's all you would only need him then. That's all you would need.
Well, I would take other people because I think you need to have Thanos distracted so Light can write down the name and figure out, okay, let me figure out his name and write it down in this book. And Thanos doesn't have time to figure out what is he writing in that book and why is he writing in that book.
Yeah, I don't think Thanos would have the comprehension to be like, oh, that's going to kill me. If he writes my name and it's going to kill me. I don't think he would have that, knowledge ahead of time.
Yeah.
So you got a good point. That's a good point.
Okay, so tell everybody a little bit about yourself for those who don't know you.
All right. Okay. Like I said, my name is JB, PME. I am a music producer / artist. I drop beats every Wednesdays and Saturday. My main, genres are hip hop and, R&B. 21, working currently. And I mean, kind of can't think of nothing else to really say.
So what is it like? First, before we get to that, where do you think your love for music came from?
Well, I'll say it kind of festered because I grew up in the church, it kind of festered there and it kind of started there because I was in the choir, all that type of stuff. You go to a black church, obviously music most of the time gonna be banging.
Yes.
So I feel like me being in choir and being on the dance team and being and all this type of stuff, being a real pivotal person in the church, at least music wise, that kind of put it in me and grew it more than anything. Because I did music at church, I did it in school, did it outside of school. So I mean,
so where did the hip hop influence come from? Because usually now it's a little different, but
Yeah.
back in the day with black churches, you wasn't hearing too much Dr. Dre
Good
type
point. Good
beats.
point.
Yeah, you was kind of hearing more biblical stuff.
Yeah.
Soulful biblical stuff, but biblical stuff.
Yeah. First artist I could think of that kind of like shifted me into it would be T-Pain, because he's my like number one favorite artist of all time. I'm just gonna be honest. Number one favorite, mainly because I feel like he introduced something that a lot of the newer rappers use, but he doesn't really get the credit for it,
Accurate.
Like, auto-tune, all that type of stuff. Everyone uses it, but not many people are like, oh, T-Pain was the one that started that. T-Pain did it, and I mean, just hearing I'm in love with a stripper, freaking bartender. What am I trying to think?
I gotta ask you this now.
And
I know the answer because I've also been young, and I've also went to church at a point in time in my life. How are you hearing all of these songs like this, and you're going to church every week and doing choir stuff?
Every Sunday, we playing church, radio station. Every other day, everything, anything else. But all 599, all that. So
I already knew the answer, but it's always funny when I think about it. When I was growing up, how Sunday radio was reserved for church, and you hear stuff like Shirley Caesar and stuff like that. And then the rest of the week, I would go from hearing the Isley Brothers, the Motown stuff, Michael Jackson, to Tupac and Biggie. So it's always interesting how that works out.
Yeah, it was something similar for me, most definitely. I can't really think artists at the time or whatever, but like something similar where it would go from like, the R&B type stuff and then go straight into like the hip hop and all that type of stuff, Chris Brown, Lil Wayne, all them, that time of them coming up and stuff like that. So, I mean.
So, what got you into saying, I'm going to make hip hop beats and R&B beats and get into the genre of hip hop in general?
Okay, well, when I was in school, like when I first started, when I was in middle school, honestly, my first thought was I wanted to be a video game designer because I was really into drawing. I did all that when I was like in middle school. And then once high school started, I started taking, I was taking choir classes in middle school too. But once we got into high school, like, I don't know what it was, but I get it probably was the teacher. Just the way that she was like, Jonathan, you're good at this. Like, you can sing. Like, I do sing. I just don't really tell many people that I do sing and stuff like that. So, excuse me. Like going through that and all that type of stuff. And like after a while, I realized I was like, drawing, like art is not like for me, like drawing and stuff isn't for me. And that's when I was like, okay, we're gonna go to music. And first instinct, I was like, I'm gonna be a singer, straight up. Then I realized that the crippling stage fright I have will not allow me to go on the stage and sing in front of many people, at least now. Something I'm gonna work on later, but at least now. So
let's touch on that a little bit. Why do you think you have that crippling stage fright?
No clue. I'm gonna just be honest. I don't know, because I can sing perfectly fine in front of church. Like in church, if I'm in church and they're like, Jonathan, you got a solo, I can bust it down real easily. But if it's like in front of a whole group of people that I like don't really know like that or don't really trust like that, it's like I can't do it. Like it's a whole story I have where when I was in college, not many people know the story too. When I was in college, I was in for a music business, and every music major has like a concentration, I guess you could say, whether it be like a certain, usually it was instrument. So obviously I don't really play many instruments. I'm learning to play guitar, but I don't really play many instruments. So I was like, F it. I'm gonna go for, vocal, have my vocal coach, all that type of stuff. So, throughout the year, we're hearing about these things called jury. And jury is basically where they get 4 people from the music major They put you in this room with these 4 people, and basically they determine whether or not you are going to move on to the next semester. So obviously, me being me, I was already nervous as is. Now the fact that these 4 people are like have whether or not I'm about to pass on the weight of the on like on them, I'm like, well, I was already nervous. Now I'm even more nervous.
Did you do the whole thing like Eminem did in 8 Mile, just throw up in a bucket on yourself, throw up mom's spaghetti?
Look, honestly, I wish I would have done that rather than what actually happened. So, the day comes, I'm in my suit, all that type of stuff. I get there, and I had like 4 songs ready. One was a Nat King Cole song, one was a Khalid song, and then the 2 other were, I think, Italian songs, because we were required to learn songs in different languages as well. So I had 2 Italian songs ready if they wanted to hear it. So I get up there, they ask me, what you gonna sing? I'm like, oh, I didn't realize I chose. So I went with the Khalid song. I think it was Blessed. Yeah. So I start, and as I'm starting, like stuff starts to get a little blurry in my vision. And then right before I got to the chorus, I started the chorus actually, and I pass out.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I just straight up pass out. And at first I didn't realize I passed out until I thought about the fact of, one, I was standing when I started. And when I woke back up, I was sitting in a chair.
I realized something was wrong when I woke up and I realized I was sitting in a chair instead of standing up.
So I was like, well, that happened. And they were like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm straight. I'm good now. So they were like, you good? You need water? I'm like, yeah, I'm straight. They let me drink a little bit of water. They were like, okay. One of the teachers ended up wanting me to sing a little bit of one of the other Italian songs because he really likes that song. So just after that, like, I've realized like this is a serious issue. Like I have to like face this. I don't know how exactly to face it, but I have to face this somehow. Like I don't know.
You may get this reference. You ever watch Regular Show?
Yeah.
Do you remember the episode where Pops had stage fright and they had to draw on the back of his head a face so because he could talk to the crowd?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah.
I could do that. That seems easy.
So maybe you need to draw like your face on the back of your head and
what
talk
I can
to
do,
the crowd backwards.
I could get like a picture and then put a hoodie on and wear it backwards and put the picture back here to keep my face. There we go. That's a good one. But yeah.
So that made you decide, let me just start doing this production type thing, huh?
Mm-hmm. That was kind of the moment where I was like, okay, like I was already going to do production before this happened. Like I went to school with the idea in my head that I was going to do production, but like after that happened, that like kind of solidified, like I'm going to try to stay behind the scenes as long as possible. But I know someday, like I feel in my heart one day that I have to do something else besides this.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Who are your inspiration for the production side of your music?
The production side? Okay. It's a good amount, in all honesty. T-Pain is one of them, obviously. Okay. The homie Pharrell, good old Timbo. I feel like those are the big 3 ones most people say. A lot of people say Jay Dilla. I personally haven't listened to a lot of Jay Dilla. I'm going to get there, but I haven't listened to a lot of him.
I understand that. Jay Dilla may be a little bit before your time, to say the least.
Yeah. So, like, I have a whole list of just, like, artists and stuff like that I'm going to go back and listen to. So I'm working on that. He's in the list, but I'm working on that. But those are kind of, like, the big 3. A lot of, like, Amine's music, like, inspires me. And I've heard a lot of people say, like, certain beats, whenever they hear it, they can tell that I like video games and that I play a lot of video games when listening to them. So I'm like, okay.
Kind of like Mega Ran beats almost.
Yeah, kind of like Mega Ran beats.
Nothing wrong with that. I like Mega Ran a lot. He's dope.
Mega Ran is cool. I like him a lot.
So, what's your game plan in terms of this social media type gig, in terms of getting your music out there? How do you go about that aspect of everything?
That aspect is kind of hard because it's like it's it's different from back. I feel like it's different from now than back then because each of them have their pros and cons. But like one of the cons for this is it kind of feels like everyone's doing it,
Yeah.
and it's kind of hard. Like the best thing you could really do is just try and stand out as much as possible. Like back then, it was kind of a thing where it was like, oh, you were in the right place at the right time, and you just happened to, your stuff just happened to sound good. Like now, I feel like even with like reaching out to people, which I don't really do it, but I hear a lot of people say like their DMs are just flooded with people being like, oh, can you listen to this? Can you do this? Can all that type of stuff. So I don't really want to be that person that's like, I'm all in your DMs all the time, you know?
Now it's time for me to give you some advice
Ooh, okay.
on this as somebody who's worked in music a little bit and things like
Yes,
that.
sir.
Reach out to all the indie artists you can to collaborate with them, because this is one of the best times to be a producer or an artist, because you literally can go on SoundCloud and upload your music. Like a couple of weeks ago, I had on an artist, his name's Starletta. He made a song called Crying in Miami. He uploaded a snippet of that song before the song was even finished to TikTok. The snippet got like 1 million views.
Dang.
So he finished the song, put it out on iTunes. Label started content. Now he did all this by himself. He did the instrumentation to it, the whole song. He sung the song all on his own. Put the song on iTunes. Song blowing up on iTunes, it's blowing up on Spotify and stuff like that. But that's all because he put in that work, and he was kind of like, hey, he took a chance with himself. He took a shot on himself and not thinking that it would work. It worked. Now, I don't know how far it's going to go with that. I've talked to him. People are trying to sign him to deals and things like that, and they want to work with him. So you got to kind of not be afraid to put yourself out there and work with other artists, no matter how small or how big they are, because you don't never know who you're going to hit. You may hit that small artist who becomes that big artist.
Yeah, you are
especially
right.
Especially with production. Production is one of those things where they are always, and I mean always, rappers looking for beats. There's all as many, like just like how you said, it feels like everybody's making beats. Everybody's making beats, but everybody's also looking for beats.
You're right. You're right.
So make sure you put yourself out there, because if you don't put yourself out there, they ain't gonna know who you are.
Yeah, you're right. I'm trying. I really do. One thing I will say that's kind of hard for me. Like, I hate that I'm this way because I want to like be better with this. As much as I'm on it, like social media, for some reason, I just can't get it for some reason. Like, I used to like always be on it. I used to be posting every single day, like different stuff, all that type of stuff. Then after a while, like for some reason, something just in me just kind of clicked, and I was like, I don't really care that much. Like I'm there. I'm
Nothing
always
wrong with that.
Yeah, I'm always like looking through Instagram every once in a while. I'll jump on Twitter and stuff like that. And sometimes I feel like if I were on it more and I was like more engaging, more like doing more stuff, at least on my side, like pushing out more content, I feel like I would go more places, or at least I would be seen more. At least,
Let me add to this like that, and I can give you some insight on how I use social media.
Okay.
I use social media, and this is a spoiler, how I want to use it. And what I mean by that is you post when you want to, how you want to, about things that matter to you. Everybody always tries to go on there on Twitter and stuff and post things for engagement and stuff like that. I don't look at it like that. I post things that I like and respond to people who respond to the things I like. That's how you build your audience. That's how you build people to kind of follow you. That's how not only how you build like-minded people, but that's how you kind of build conversation. Yeah, there's always gonna be trolls and things like that. But the more vocal you are about things you like, and the more you talk about those things, the more people will reach out to you about those specific things. Like if you're talking about like, let's give a random topic. Nas. I'm a huge Nas fan. You start talking about Nas's album, his last album and stuff like that, and how he won a Grammy and stuff, his first Grammy. Eventually, somebody's gonna respond to that with whether it's a positive conversation about Nas or Nas didn't deserve it or nothing like that. It's how you react to those things which builds your following. And like I said, you don't always have to be on social media. That's a misconception that a lot of people have. Yeah, you have to be on social media a lot when you are at the Kim Kardashian. Well, they're not even them because they're not even on social media that a lot much. Most of the big celebrities aren't on social media that much. They're on it when they want to come on it, and people follow during that.
Yeah,
and I kind of look at it the same way with my social media. Like, hey, when I have something to post, I'll post it. When I want to comment, I want to comment it. Don't let social media control your life.
Yeah.
And more importantly, be able to, and I think it's good that you have that wherewithal to be like, you know what? I don't need this today. I don't need to hop on this Twitter or this Facebook or Instagram today. I'm cool. That's a good thing.
Yeah, like, and sometimes, like, I'm starting to get better in, like, because I feel like I've said it multiple times. Like, I'm gonna get on Twitter. Like, I'm gonna start like posting on Twitter more. I'm gonna start posting on Instagram more. And it's like, I start to do it, and I start to be like, I'm gonna start posting what I think about things, or I'm gonna start posting about, what's happening right now, my opinion on it. But then sometimes I guess more of the fact I get to the point where I'm like, I don't think anyone really cares. And I feel like I gotta stop doing that, because even if no one cares, I can still do it. Someone's gonna respond, like you said.
Yeah, you'll be surprised, especially if you have a hot take that people don't agree with.
I think that's what I'm gonna start
doing. Then they're more than likely to respond to it.
I'm gonna start like posting hot takes.
that will almost always get your response, whether you want to or not.
I'm gonna start posting hot takes on, how whoever is trash and how this game is bad, even though it's a really good game.
just start commenting about the Snyder Cut. I guarantee.
That's what I'm gonna do.
I guarantee people will respond to you whether you want them to or not.
Yep, you're right. That's gonna be a whole conversation that I don't even want to have.
So let me switch gears a little bit. Where do you think your love for video games came from?
Just, I guess being player 2 a lot. Like, I think that's why I like Luigi 2. Is like I was always player 2. Like, I have an older brother, so I came into the household and there were already video games there. Like, he had a PlayStation, he had a GameCube. He had a GameCube. When did the GameCube come out? Like 2000.
I don't remember now.
I have to look this up now. Hold on.
2001?
Was it 2001?
I don't know. Now I gotta look it up. That's a good question.
I feel like it was 2001 for some reason. North America 2001. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Holy crap.
Okay. So I was 1 year old. We're just gonna say that the GameCube was there for him. But so I come into the household and there were already video games there. So, obviously growing up, I'm like, oh, I want to play, and he's the older brother. So he's going to be like, he's either going to say, no, you can't play, or he's going to give me the controller and act like I'm playing.
Yeah.
And I guess like after a while, just watching him play, and like, that's where my love for Kingdom Hearts comes from, because he liked Kingdom Hearts and now I love Kingdom Hearts more than he likes Kingdom Hearts. And just watching him playing after him, like, doing that kind of like built my love for video games.
That makes sense. So you think that's a little bit one of the reasons why you love Nintendo so much?
Yeah, that's a big reason for why I love Nintendo, because he was always more of the PlayStation person. He would be playing, Jak and Daxter, Kingdom Hearts, Ratchet and Clank, all that on the PlayStation. While me, I would be playing Mario Party and Luigi's Mansion and Mario Kart on the GameCube. So
that makes sense. So I want to talk about something with you. I think it'd be an interesting topic for us to have before we go. Recently, we lost a friend, a dear friend, both of us. We lost a mentor and Nintendo guru, Bobby Paul, a good friend of ours. I think it would be good to talk about, well, first, how you met Bobby. Let's get in that first.
Okay. That kind of connects with the whole Nintendo thing too. I made my Twitter account not too long before, not too long before I met Bob. I ended up making a Twitter account because I was just bored, and I was like, whatever. I was gonna make one because I'm not on Twitter, just see what's up. And this was around the time when Amiibo started popping off. So I'm on Twitter searching for Amiibo, and I think it was just a conversation that he was in. And obviously, me seeing Nintendo Guru, I was like, who is this person? So, I'm looking at the conversation. I think I might have replied to something or something like that. And ended up going to his profile, and I was like, okay, he makes content. So I followed him, followed his YouTube page. And then probably like a little bit after that, Sean ended up following me. And then it was a couple other people that was in that conversation as well who ended up following me. And I'm still cool with one of them. So me and Bobby have just been cool. Like, I'll be at most of the not most, all the streams, commenting on all the videos, talking to him. So yeah.
So, not to get too deep into it, but what was your relationship like with Bobby?
Like my big brother, in all honesty. Like, I know a lot of people probably wouldn't know or expect it because like we didn't make content together, we didn't do much together. But behind the scenes, I would always text them. I'll be like, yo, not even long conversations. It would just be like, yo, just checking in, I love you, hope you have a great day. So would text back, exact same thing. Or I'd just be like, yo, just want to check on you, how are you mentally, all that type of stuff. He'd be like, I'm good, thank you for asking. Or he would do the same for me. Every once in a while, he would, randomly text me, you want to hear a secret? And then he would send me a whole bunch of stuff that he has planned that he hasn't announced to anybody.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like honestly, like my older brother, like big brother, like you said, mentor, just best, great friend in all honesty.
Yeah, I think that's the cool thing about Bobby, and because he was the type of person that loved you no matter what you were, who you were, and it's interesting because I was on I want to say it was if we ran Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was one of his shows. I don't see how it might have been Nintendo Talk, but the way and this is crazy because the way he introduced me on the show was I didn't bring him on here to talk about video games. I brought him on here because he's my friend.
Mm-hmm.
And like he's not necessarily a Nintendo guy. He likes the old school Nintendo stuff because he knows me. He's like, but no, I brought him on here because he's my friend, and I want to have a conversation with him on my podcast. And Bobby was like the fifth person I've ever had on this podcast.
Oh, thanks.
And Bobby, it was always interesting because at the time where I had him on there, I wasn't a big podcaster at all. Not saying I am now, but I'm way bigger than what I was back then.
Yeah.
And he was up higher than me in terms of that. He came on. We had a great conversation. I want to say the episode we didn't even talk. We didn't really talk about Nintendo. That's how our friendship kind of built because our conversations was about life and like he's a big boxing fan. I'm a boxing fan. We're very close to the same age, so we can relate to a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we'd always have conversations about those things we relate to.
Yeah.
And I always appreciated that about him. So, and I also always appreciate, this is why I want to talk to you, is because I always appreciate that Bobby was one of those guys who like to reach out to the younger generation and inspire them.
Mm-hmm.
He talked to them. He would lend his ear. He would listen to them. He would give them feedback, positive reinforcement.
Yeah.
Dope individual.
100%. Like all of that stuff that you said, that is 100%. Like I got every single one of those from him. Like anytime I would be like, yo, I don't know, like this just isn't working out. And he'd be like, yo, just work, just do it. Like, just go for it. Like you're not going to regret it. Just do it. And I mean, every time he would always, bring me back around and kick me in the butt and say, go.
Yeah, that's accurate. I would talk to him behind the scenes about things. When he was going through stuff, I'd hit him up. When I was going through stuff, he'd hit me up. We'd have conversations about things, and we'd laugh, and we'd talk about all kind of things that people wouldn't expect us to talk about. It's just a different side of Bobby that I super appreciate, that he was honest with me about things, and I'm thankful for the time we got to share together.
100%. 100%. Same with me. I miss him I think about it every day, in all honesty. I'm just like, I wish he was here. because there's just so many things that I would just want to talk to him about and all that type of stuff. It's just, yeah.
I do too. And I think about him a lot, but I'm also happy that seeing the outpouring of love he got after his passing gave me hope. And also, I'm also happy that we always can have a little bit of Bobby with us in terms of like his videos are still out there. You can still hear him in podcasts and things like that. His voice still lives on even past him.
Yeah.
I think to me that matters a lot. Like that's, if your legacy is you, for example, you're a part of his legacy. You're somebody he cared about and he wanted to see grow and do better. Sean Capri is part of his legacy.
Yep.
You know, and it makes me very happy to see you guys go forth and do your thing, because I know that would make Bobby proud.
100%. Like, 100% I agree with that. That was something that I've said it before. Like, after all that happened, I felt like this. Like, I didn't feel what I thought was going to happen, because for some reason in my head, I was like, the community might just fall apart. Like that was a fear of mine. I was like, I really hope that like the community doesn't just like, oh, like this person isn't here anymore, so we're just going to kind of all go our ways. But at the end of it, it was like, if anything, everyone was closer together. Like we all, like I see myself, I find other people like going to other people's streams and going to other people's YouTube channels and just being like, hey, I'm here, and it was just great. I love the fact that that did happen. Like after that happened, the community just like grew stronger together,
Yeah. And I think Bobby left a legacy that I don't think too many people will forget about. And more importantly, I think it shows in the way you guys reflect on that legacy of his. And the fact that you guys are still getting along, you guys are still communicating together and doing your thing, that's awesome.
Yeah. 100%. We got to, because we know that, if he was here, he would be, barking at all of us and telling us to get up and go do something.
Yes, that is very accurate. So, any final thoughts before we go?
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. I really do. I always love coming on podcasts and, running my mouth. So
no problem, brother. You're always welcome back on, brother. No problem at all.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Let them know where to find your stuff at, brother.
All right. So you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at PMEJIB, on all the major streaming platforms at PME. There is a PMEJB. That is not me. I am just PME. I'm on Spotify, SoundCloud, iTunes, all the streaming services, Tidal, Deezer, all that. YouTube channel is youtube.com/gaming purple monkey. When I hit 100 subs, I will change it to Purple Monkey Entertainment. But
there you go. So help my brother get the 100 subs so he can change the Purple Monkey Entertainment and he can do his thing.
Yes, sir.
And as always, Delvin Cox Experience, we are out. Peace.
Peace.